plugging in a guy into that number 2 spot that has a pretty good sense of the strike zone, has shown a willingness throughout the course of his career to take walks and break up the right-handedness at the top part of that order. It just seemed to make more sense to have Benintendi in that number 2 spot to me personally.
I would say that Yoan Moncada has to hit too.
That I think is the only other viable alternative, but the concern that I have with that is just the inconsistent nature of performance that we've seen from Yoan Moncada. I think particularly when you look at the decline in his overall walk rate a year ago, that was one of the hallmarks of his player profile, was his plate discipline, and we really saw that erode a season ago. So the idea of, just automatically installing him into the number 2 spot in the lineup, I'm okay with Pedro Grifol not doing that. We've seen that. And the other thing about it too is, a concept or an idea that a manager has in spring training for how they want to construct the lineup doesn't always pan out in the end. You go back to, it was either 2020 or 2021. I can't remember what it was, but Moncada actually started the season hitting cleanup behind Jose Abreu. And that got off to a pretty disastrous start, actually, to the point where then he was reverted back to the number 2 spot in the lineup here. So again, you might have this concept in your head on the whiteboard in the manager's office as we're sitting here on March 5th, really getting into the thick of the ultra competitive Cactus League play here. But that's not automatically what's going to be taking place, on May 15th, for example. But just on the surface, for the reasons that I laid out there, I don't like the idea of going Anderson, Robert, Benintendi to start the lineup.